everybody. I hope you had a good week. Today I'm going to go through some common uh, ways that basically some operations that you'll be using in FreeCAD on a daily basis. We shall be going through how to do pads, how to do pockets, multi-transform, mirror, and then polar patterns. I think those will be good enough for the day. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by changing our workbench. In most cases, once you start, it's on pad. So change it to pad design, click on create new, create a body, create a sketch, select XY plane, and click OK. Go to the square tool, draw your square, select the symmetry tool, click on that spot, and then click the center. Okay. Then we shall put our constraints, give that about 150 millimeters, and then give this around 100 millimeters. Okay. So we should have something that looks like this. And we're done. So go ahead and click on close, and we're going to start with our an operation we use on a daily basis. So for creating our 3D dimensions. So go ahead and click on pad, give that about 20 millimeters. Then click on that face again, click on sketch. We're going to draw this time a circle. So go ahead and draw your circle. Come to the first constraint, you're going to give it a radius constraint, give it around 5 millimeters. Okay. Then we're going to give it a horizontal and vertical constraint. So go to your constraint, click on horizontal, click that point and the center, and give it around 66. And then change that to vertical, click the center, click that point, and give it around 41 millimeters. We are done with that operation. Let's go ahead and close that, and we're going to perform our second 3D operation of the day, which is pocket. Change that dimension to through. That's when you want the whole hole to go through your base, and click OK. Once you check your part, you'll see that the hole has gone through that part. Okay, so let's go back to the model window, select our pocket, and we're going to go to the other operation, which is multi-transform. Click on this tool. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go under transformation, right click, and we add a mirror transform. You can see we have created that mirror on the vertical axis. We're going to add another one, which is also a mirror, but we're going to change that to the horizontal axis, and then click OK. And we have our 4 holes created. Go ahead and click OK. And there we are. We have our 4 holes on our flange or slab. Click on that face again. Click on tool. This time you're going to select on that edge select. Make sure you're clicking the top and that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to draw some 2 lines from that spot to anywhere. Just make sure it touches that. And then from that spot to around there on that line. So after drawing that, we're going to give it horizontal and vertical constraint. Give that 18 and also give this 18. Okay, hold on. It has to be vertical. Sorry about that. Give that 18. After we have that, draw other lines that are going to intersect. You can actually also draw a square, but I'm just simplifying this. Just make sure it's straight, and then select that fillet tool, select that and that, and then give your fillet radius. I'll give that a radius of 5, and then click OK. You can see that is complete, and then go ahead and click on close. We're going to do another pocket. This time it's not a through hole. The pocket is going to remain, we shall use dimension. Okay, we shall be using a dimension, so let's give that pocket around 10 millimeters. Okay, let's see. Yeah, 10 is okay. So after giving it 10, we're going to do a multi transform again. Click on that, right click, add a mirror transform on vertical, right click, sorry, add another mirror transform on horizontal, and then click OK. And this is how your part should now look like. Okay, go ahead and click that face again. This time we're going to try something new. We shall be creating a slot. Okay, so make sure you have that face selected, click on sketch again, and then look out for this slot tool. You see that? Go ahead and click on that, and then we can draw our slot around there. Okay. Okay, so after drawing our slot, we are going to specify the height of our slot by clicking on that and giving it a height of around 50 millimeters. Okay, and then we shall define the distance between this point to the top of that height, which should be half, which is around 25 millimeters. So click the vertical distance from that spot to that spot and give it 25. Okay, so let's stretch this. This is 50. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we shall also define the distance between these 2 points. So click on horizontal. You can use this, select that point and give it around 8 millimeters. Okay, after we're done, we're going to define another horizontal constraint. We shall take that spot up to that spot and give it 66 millimeters. Get that? So we have our slot fully constrained and drawn. So go ahead and click on close. Click on pocket. We shall leave that at about, let's leave it at 5 millimeters. I believe that should be okay. We can leave it at 5 millimeters and click OK. And this time we're going to do a mirror operation, which is that tool. Click on mirror, leave it on vertical, and click OK. Okay, and there we go. We have our slot drawn. Click on that face again. Click on sketch. Let's draw another slot, but for a different design. Okay, so we're going to, let's do this. Let's draw two circles. I'll draw that, and then I'll draw the second one. Let's give it a radius constraint on that first one. Let me give it around 56. I'll give it 56. And then go to the second one. Let's see here. Let's give it 48. Let's give it 48. Okay. So the first circle is 56 and the second one is 48. Okay. So let's go ahead and draw some lines. So I'll draw that line and draw that line and then use the angle tool from that spot to that spot. This should be around 100 and I would say 140 degrees. I would say 140 degrees, but since this is taking this direction, I'll give it 160. So we have, no, let me give it 140. So we have 40 degrees left. Okay, yeah. So 140 plus the 40 is 180. Then let's also try that on this side. Let's also give it 140. Hopefully it comes out. Yeah, looks okay to me. So after we have that set up, let's use the trim tool. Click on that first circle and the second one. Okay. We no longer need these lines. Those were for me to create that slot, so we can go ahead and delete them. Okay. So we can also now use that 3-point arc. Click on that. Click on the second point and click on that. Click on that. Make sure you click on the second point and click on that. And then let's give it some radius constraint. I'll give this 4 to match the distance between those two. And I'll also give this 4. Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a distance constraint so I can have that fixed. So from that spot to that spot, I'll leave it at 52. And also from that spot to that spot, I'll give it 52. And then we can now set up a height constraint on this inner arc so we can fully constraint all the 6 degrees of freedom. You can see we still have 2 degrees to solve. So I'm going to use the height of that inner arc to lock it down. So click on that, click on that, click that center tool to that, and then click OK. So let's try that, and then that, and we also lock it. So it now, by removing all the 6 degrees of freedom, we have it fully constrained. So we do have our slot with an arc. So let's go ahead and close that, go back to our sketch, make a pocket, leave it at 5 millimeters, click OK. Then we can also use mirror to bring it on this other side. Hold on, let me close that, make sure you have our pocket selected, and then mirror. vertical, and we have our pocket, and then click OK. Okay, so we had straight slot, curved slot. So let's try another kind of slot. And this is after drawing that, we shall also, it will help us use the polar array tool or polar pattern tool. Okay, so we are going to draw some circles, right? Two circles indeed. So click that face, click on sketch, click on the circle tool. Let's draw two circles in there. Okay, then we are going to give them some constraints. I'll draw the first one with let's do 42 millimeters. Let's try and see, as long as it doesn't encroach on this one here. So let's try 42. Yeah, that's good. I need it to be a much more wider slot. So let me see, what should we give this? Let's give it around 25. So the slot is wider. So I'll give that 25. So we have a much wider slot. Okay. So after we do that, we're going to draw some lines like we did in this other one. So let's go ahead and click on the line tool, click there, click out, click there, and then click out. Okay, so after we do that, let's put in some angle constraints from that spot to that. I'll give it 35. And then from that spot to that, I'll give it around 145 degrees. Okay. After we have those, let's use our trim tool again. Trim that, trim that. Now, this is a tricky part. So we're going to draw some arcs on these. I need to make the slot look a little different. It's wide. I'm not going to do the full circle. I just need to do some arcs on the side of that slot. So I'll be using the trim tool to select that and that. Hold on, let's do undo. Hold on, let's see if I do that. Hold on. Yeah, so let's see. Let's start with the inner one and we see. Nope. So let's see if we trim this and we trim that and then trim that and trim that. I think, yeah, we got it. I didn't want it to move around. So let's first trim those and then we can try the arcs. Hopefully they will come out. So I click on that and that. That's okay. I click on that and that. That's okay. That and that. That and that. Okay. So let me give these arcs some constraints. This will be around 5 millimeters each. Okay, so let me move this so and also stretch these angles so people can be able to look at these to work them out. Let me just leave it there. What else is getting blocked? Nothing. Okay, so after we are done with those arcs, we need to give some constraints. So let's take this as distance. Let's see, horizontal. Okay, so let's take the horizontal constraint there. Maybe that will lock it. And then that horizontal constraint. I think we locked it down. So that gives us, we'll just remove that. 5.8, 5.8. I think that's it. So we have our other slot there. That was a much more difficult slot to draw. So let's go ahead and close, and then let's create a pocket. We shall leave it at, should we change it to a different dimension? Let's give it 10 instead of 5 like the others. Let's give it 10 millimeters so it looks different. So 10 millimeters for that pocket. And then this time we're going to try the polar array. I want to fix in 3 elements. By default, you're coming in 2. Hopefully we can squeeze in the third one. So let's go ahead and try that. There we go. So we slotted in our third pocket, and we have our part complete. And that is your part complete. So in this video, we started how to use multi-transform, how to use polar arrays, how to create 3 different types of slots. Okay. And then how to use mirror on those. And that was it for today. And I wish you a good evening. Thank you and bye for now.